Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Shar. Listen, I'm going to let a few more people come on in and then we're going to jump back in it. Let's go. All right, what up, y'all? What's up to all my flip floppers, day ones, and newcomers? What's up, and lottie dottie to everyone? I hope that you guys are all following me on all platforms. If you aren't, follow me on all platforms at Shar's Reality number six. If you haven't had a chance to follow my backup page, go ahead and follow me at Shar's World number six. Every bit of info that you need to contact me is in my bio as well as the description section, amongst others. Um, Listen, I love y'all, so don't get that misconstrued. I'm not going to be here long. I'm just going to state the facts and head on out. I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but we're going to get to what we can. If I don't get a chance to say hello to you, definitely do not charge it to my heart, charge it to my mind. Because I am on a tight time schedule. We usually wait for like the 10-minute mark before we jump into the nitty gritty, but we're not going to do that right now because I'm on a tight time schedule. But I will say hello to whoever's in here now. Hi, Kim. How are you? Hey, Terry. How are you? And welcome to the chat. Always that girl. What's up, boo? Hi, Mama Bees. Mamas, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. I don't think I ever saw you here before. If I did, I apologize. But if I didn't, welcome. We appreciate you for being here. We're going to talk about it. Yes, we are. Listen. Did Miss Melody pull up or what? Now, I think she pulled up around the time this morning that I was live, so I actually missed the actual live. But shout out to all the content creators who's been posting it, sharing it, talking about it. You guys all have some great insight on it. And I love that at least the people that I saw, nobody's biased. Even the content creator himself, that Melody pulled up on, he handled that very well. He was able to have a conversation after her pulling up, right? He was able to put his own guard down, not become biased, and kind of put his own point of view to the side. He's like, he took advantage of the situation where he was able to ask questions. He kept it cool in spite of what he may have been thinking. I'm not saying that he was thinking anything, but he kept it cool and he got his interview in where he can. So listen, you never know who's listening behind these walls, right? You never know who's going to say, hey, drop that link, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come. That's why it's important to always be ready, so you ain't never got to get ready, okay? So I definitely enjoyed that when I went back. I think his name was Given the Real Team. I've probably heard of him one or two times, no shade. I just haven't had a chance to listen to him. But like I said, he did a very good job getting the information and, asking all the right questions for the short period of time that he had. And that's what it's about. Content creators have to be ready at all time. So that's that. You guys didn't catch the live earlier that I did of the review. Go back and check that out because it was really a good review. I even enjoyed listening to the replay. Okay. Um, if you are hearing the sound of my voice, go ahead and hit that like button, share the live, subscribe to the channel, and everything on this channel is alleged and in my opinion only. Again, shout out to Give You the Real Tea and Melody herself. So earlier today, I'm assuming that the individual was live. And Melody had some time to chill out in the chat. And then I guess some of the stuff probably got a little bit confusing or, unclear. So I guess, she's like, drop the link. Let me clear up all of this for you, okay? Let me go ahead and just, so we don't have to have no naysayers or people just flat out lying, okay? Some people just come with an agenda to start confusion where there is none. And so she decided, well, he dropped the link and she definitely did pull up actively, okay? He went on to ask Melody a few questions, and he was asking her about, he says that I heard a lot of things about you having conversation with Ariane, you and your friends pulling up on her at some point to have an altercation, and that she's been knew before the show that Martell was cheating. Her question to him in response to that, well, you know what? Just before I ask you those questions or answer your questions, you answer this for me. Who did you hear all of this from? Right? He's like, and listen, it blew my mind because I was jaw dropping. Okay, I had a, I had a stormy face. Like, oh no, she didn't go there, honey. She wants to know who the hell is the source. Okay, and listen, that's what it's about. Be ready, right? I definitely had a stormy face. I said, what? Okay. So she's like, who's your source? He's like, YouTube, some content creators, people, that don't really see it for Mel, right? She's like, who? He's like, now wait a minute, you're just not gonna get me all caught up, girl. You ain't gonna have me over here dropping names, all right? She's like, now, wait a minute. You want me to answer your questions, but you can't really give me the same in return. If these individuals that you're saying you heard this from put it out on a public platform, then it's a fair exchange, no robbery, okay? Um, he says, listen, in all fairness, right? The channels that are not so favorable of Mel are or not so favor about Mel is basically not the people. It's not the people that he watched. It's the channels that's not so favorable of Mel, right? He actually goes on to say because the people that he watched is really actually Melameters, okay? They're in support of Mel. She says, so she goes on and says, yeah, okay. And y'all clock this, okay? Y'all see how he just tried to do that. Y'all clock this T, right? So she basically knows that it's not the truth. And I don't blame him because it can get messy. And she respected that he didn't want to name drop. She didn't press the issue or say, well, I can't answer your question. She continued on in fairness, right? And I wouldn't have name dropped either because it would have just caused confusion that it didn't need to be, okay? She was like, she was taught a long time ago to consider the source, okay? That's why she says that I'm asking you, who's your source? If these are your sources, let me see. If she says that these are your sisters who don't know me personally, they don't know nothing about my marriage at the time, then you definitely need to consider your sources. He agrees with her that that is so much true. And then she goes on to answer his question about this whole ordeal of her needing friends to pull up on Ariana. Okay. Um, Mama Bees is speaking to everyone. Kim says, I agree. He can bring the info and the person that said he should have been able to tell it. You think so, I don't know. I think he could have said it if he was looking to go that direction. But we never know the promises or the friendships that people have outside of YouTube. And it could have very well, put him in an awkward position, right? He could have, at that point, if he would have started name dropping, become untruthful or unloyal to his friends outside of YouTube, right? So we just don't know, right? So I can understand where he's coming from. Sometimes it's good just to leave well enough alone. Even if, and I'm not saying that he did this, even if he didn't name drop the names to Melody like on the public platform in that moment, and he decided to inbox her later, that would have been even been okay, right? Because considering who she is, I'm sure she wouldn't have ratted him out. She would have just jotted it down, like, okay, got it, clock it, right? So I agree not to name drop. It sometimes it can just stir up mess that don't need to be stirred. But if he wanted to go behind the scenes and say, "Hey, this is who I heard it from," but you ain't hear that from me, that's between him and Jesus and Melody, okay? But I'm not saying that he did, because y'all know folks be liking to run, run with stuff. But I'm just saying it could have been other ways that it could have been done, other than publicly outing somebody. Sometimes you just got to leave well enough alone. That's just my opinion and the way I would have handled it. Okay. Um, so she goes on to say that she was, taught a long time ago to consider your source. Um, and then she answers his question about all the chaos with Ariana. She says, listen, let's just address it head on, okay? She says, all the stupid people, the ones that are so bent out of shape to have an issue with me. Not that I care about them having an issue with me, because I just don't give a dang on, right? And I say, yeah, true. Who does, right? You don't even know these people, so who the hell cares what the hell they got to say about you? All right, your life is still gonna be beautiful. Your life is still gonna be what it is. You're gonna still wake up to those four babies, okay? You're gonna still be Melody Cherie, whether they like you or not. So I definitely could dig that. Okay, a lot of us can take a lot from that. Don't be so pressed on what a mother got to say about you. Hey, Cricket 22 Boo. Hey, Geneva, how are you? And welcome to the chat. Okay, so she says that she really don't care about that. Um, let's see. She says that they really don't like her so much that they will basically make up a whole bunch of stupid stuff to have something to say, basically, okay? She says that everyone's seen her go through this marital problem publicly, okay, on national platform. So if she was okay with her ex cheating on her, why would it be tears from Martell? Why would there be an apology from Martell? Why would Martell go to his friend LB to get another phone? Or why would Martell change his number? It would just be like, I would have already been cool with it, because I've already know. She's basically like, y'all got to use common sense. Stop believing what everybody's saying. She said there's no way, shape, or form, right, true of what Destiny was making or alluding to. She says that she didn't bring her friends with her to pull up on AC. She made that clear, okay? Um, she was never friends with AC at no given time. She says people are repeating things that Martell said to them, and they're just taking that and running with it, okay? She says that she pulled up all by herself, okay? She don't need no entourage to pull up. That's why she just do what she do by herself, okay? She said her and her friends did not pull up on Ariane. She pulled up, but her friends were supposed to, she called her friends like grab the kids, right? She never had intentions on grab the kids because I got something I gotta handle. She never had intentions on pulling up with her friends, because let's be clear, Melody pulls up by herself. She don't need an entourage to pull up. Okay. She says that she tried to keep her emotions intact. She says because if she go the other way, she's gonna go all the way. I said, I like that. I like that. That's a clear definition of what happens when you don't have your emotions in check. Okay. She don't want her babies to see her mug shot, and she ain't trying to go to jail and lose everything she worked for. I said, now that's as clear as I heard it in a long time. Okay. She said she smiled to keep from basically going the other way. Um, she didn't ask again. She said she didn't ask her friends to basically do shit for her. She asked them to grab the kids because she got stuff to handle. She says Mel pulls up by herself. She don't need people to ride with her. She says, look at all the stuff that I go to by myself. She says her and the cast are in a good place. She says, no, we're not, buddies or nothing. We're not hanging out or nothing, but we are in a good place. He goes on to ask her about Wanda. And listen, y'all, I really, really felt this response because yesterday somebody sent me Wanda's live. And I really had a moment of I feel sorry for Wanda. Because at some point you gotta be ready to just roll up your sleeves and be done with some stuff. And Wanda, you too old for the stuff that come out your mouth, in my opinion. Okay. So when Mel responds about Wanda was like, I pity Wanda, right? But let's be clear. I had a conversation with God, but I ain't there yet, basically. Okay. She says, until she keep my name off her mouth or out her mouth, rather, I'm gonna leave that right there. So she's not gonna stop talking about Wanda until Wanda stops talking about her. She made that very clear. Okay. And I say, okay, then go off because Wanda do make somebody want to slap the out of her. Okay. July, what's up, boo? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I knew that would make sense for somebody in this short little bit of time I'm here. He, the same one that called Meller meters, mellow nuts. What? Mama Bees, I know you're lying. Not feeling him, but I am glad she big enough to go where folks don't like her. I didn't even know that. And that was my whole theory from the beginning, whether it's true or not. I love that they were able to put their differences to the side and have a conversation because that's standing on business. Okay. You don't want to miss opportunities by be like, I ain't doing that. You can't make me. I'm grown as hell. You can't have that kind of attitude if you want to go somewhere. Okay. You're going to have to put your big girl drawers on or your big man drawers on, and you're going to have to step into rooms where people do not like you and don't care a hell about what you're saying or doing, right? And secretly envy you. So I like that, and I didn't even know that. That's crazy. The CC need to be true and accountable to the info they put out. Kim, let me tell you something. I'm very cautious on what I repeat. I always use the Kiki stuff. I was very cautious on how I reported her news because I didn't know, and I'm not privy to, still not now, of what goes on with her or what had happened to her. And I'm really not interested in dogging someone out that went to go see Jesus. Okay, I'm just not. But you got to be cautious and consider the source as always. Cricket 22, did I say hey to you? If I didn't, boo, hello and welcome to the chat. Hey, Brittany, what's up, boo? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. So she says that she really pity Wanda. Then they go on to ask about the kids, and this is where it gets kind of like sweet and mushy, right? And it says ask about the kids, and she says that they're good. He says, "Well, you know what? I'm glad you came over because your people." Now that right there, I don't know what team he played for. Like I said, I want to be honest. I've never really listened to him at all. I've heard him in traffic, but I never listened. So I don't know what team or if he is for any team. I want to be honest with that. But he goes on and says, you know what, I'm glad that you came because your people swear down I'm on Carlos King payroll. Okay. Melody's like, well, and Melody cracks me up because when she turns around and she get that little sweet little voice, honey, and she be like saying it but not saying it at the same time, but you get her drift. She says that I don't know, who getting paid. I really don't care, but I said, now, what are you really trying to tell us, Melody? What are you really trying to tell us? But it ended on a good note. He thanked her for coming over, and that was the end of that. Like I said, if they can be grown enough to put their differences to the side, I think that was pretty dope, in spite of what you all are telling me that he feels in real life. I do not know, and so I can't agree or disagree with you guys. But she definitely pulled up to say, look, stop all this noise about me, been knowing about my husband cheating. If that was the case, what's all the crocodile tears about? What's the problem? Because people that already know, You just come in agreement. It's like, babe, remember I told you that when she got here, her face is going to be red. She would have already been prepared. There wouldn't have been none of the other stuff. So she's like, basically, just use common sense, folks. You don't even have to hear from me most of the time. I don't ever really have to pull up if you guys just become critical thinkers and use your basic common sense skills, right? Cut the pace. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. T has gotten a lot nicer towards Mel and the meters, but he rides hard for Destiny. Oh, so y'all telling me some stuff. Y'all telling me some stuff. Thank you. Because I don't know. I'm gonna try to be in the streets a little bit more these days. I hope that the Lord will free up time for me, because I just don't have the time with work and kids and college and just, making sure I keep my prayer time, my workout time, in my schedule. It's kind of hard for me, right? But listen, checkmates, I love y'all. This was a short live, so make sure you guys are sharing the live. I love you, and there's nothing you could do about it. And remember, don't you let nobody tell you nothing different. Until next time, bye.